If you've started making money as a content creator or a live streamer, or maybe even with a little business that you've started, the reality is that you have to manage that money, track that money, and budget that money, and ultimately pay taxes on that money. And especially for my fellow content creators and live streamers out there, we got into making content because we enjoyed it, we loved it, it was a passion of ours. But the whole business side of things and accounting side of things, all the financial stuff, wasn't really on our radar initially, at least for a lot of people. And so once you start making money, you have to realize that that becomes a part of what you're doing, whether it's part-time or full-time. And so I've been doing content since 2011, and I've been full-time at content creation since 2018. So over the years, I've had to develop systems to try to make managing my money a lot easier, getting all of my money pulled together and all my records pulled together to file taxes. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the method that I use and the system that I've set up. Hopefully it will help you either get inspired to create a system of your own, or I'll also show you where you can get a hold of this exact system that I have made myself and that I use. So let's dive in and take a look at what I consider to be the easiest content creator financial management system there is. Now that's a pretty tall order. I don't know if it's the best financial system out there. You may know of a better one, but this is one that I've created specifically for myself as a content creator and a live streamer. And it's really geared towards the type of information that we need to record if you are in the space as well. This can also be used for, like I said, small businesses and things like that. But, some programs out there are much more robust. This is a very simplified, easy system to use. And I want to show you guys this. Now, I also want to say before we dive in that I am not a financial advisor. This is not official advice or anything like that, but rather a content creator sharing with other content creators and streamers out there what I use that will hopefully help you in your content creation money management journey, as well as maybe just give you the tool exactly. I mean, it depends on what you think about it, but let me just dive in and show you what I'm talking about before we go any further. Okay, so here we are in the system that I've set up, and I'm actually using Google Sheets for this. So Google Sheets is totally free with anybody that has a Gmail account. So if you have a Google account, you can access Google Sheets and you can do the same thing on your own. This was all created using Google Sheets, and I basically, if you're unfamiliar with Google Sheets, it's their version of Microsoft Excel. If you're unfamiliar with both of those things, then I would encourage you to log on and check them out. I went through and I made it look really nice by the time I got done with everything, but originally what I was using to manage my money looked like this section right here. It looked like the income, the expenses, and then the totals down here, the expense totals and the income totals. Since then, this is developed quite a bit. We've put a lot into this. My wife is actually an accountant, and so she helped me with this. She's also a whiz at Excel and Google Sheets, so she helped me do a bunch of formulas. So this is actually a pretty fancy system now, but it didn't start out that way. Okay, so let me give you guys the rundown of what I do. Now, none of the amounts that you see here are my actual. This is not my actual finances. I just put in some like demo amounts and stuff. So you're not getting a peek at my actual finances in this video. But let me show you what we've done, okay? So what I have is down here at the bottom of the screen, I have 12 months all broken up into tabs, okay? So on Google Sheets, you can have different tabs of data. And so I've got one for January all the way through December. And what I've done is I have created a system where all I have to do is record my individual sources of income and my individual expenses. And then I've set up formulas to automatically fill in all of this information down here, as well as these charts and these kind of quick snapshot cells that basically show you some of the most pertinent information for each month. All of this data feeds back into a summary page. I've created a summary page over here that will keep a running total automatically of every bit of income and expense that I have throughout all 12 of these tabs. So every one of these tabs funnels back into this summary page and gives me a snapshot look at my year at any given time in the year. So in this current template that I've got set up, January and February are the only 2 months that I've input any data into. And so over here on the summary page, you'll notice that that's what we have. January and February, we've got income. Let me show you what all we've got, the way we broke it down. So first of all, we have an income box. On the summary page, this is the total income for each of these categories. Now, what I've done is I've created a formula where on the summary page, I can go in and I can rename any of these cells whatever I want, and it will automatically rename those cells for all 12 of these tabs. So for instance, I've got Twitch, YouTube, PayPal sponsors. Let's add another one. Merch sales. Okay, let's say I have a merch store set up somewhere. So we got merch sales, and I changed the name here. Now under January and February all the way to December, it's going to say merch sales, right? If I change Twitch to be something else, it is going to change it for all of these categories. So that is all through formulas. I created a formula to have these cells and all of the expenses cells connected throughout all 12 of my pages, so that I only have to make adjustments here on the summary page, and it will automatically take care of all 12 other tabs. Other than that, that's basically the only setup process you have to do. The only other thing that I have is that if my tax bracket, if I need to adjust my tax bracket, I've got 30% because that's kind of a safer amount to put aside for taxes, at the end of the year. But you can adjust this by clicking on this cell here. And then if I go up here, I've got it to where I can change that 0.3 to, 0.25 or 0.21 or 0.35 or whatever I want it to be. And then I can just go in here and adjust the name of this cell. And if it's 0.35, for instance, I can just put a 5 in here, and now we're good to go. And the beautiful thing about that is it's going to adjust it across all the cells for all of my tabs also. So the only thing that you have to remember when it comes to adjusting things for each individual month, because of these formulas, is that I need to make adjustments on the summary page itself, which makes things super easy. So I love that. Now, on top of that, after you get that set up, the only thing that you have to do from here on out is go into each month and record at the end of that month. So once January is over, and let's say it's February 1st, I'm going to go back and I'm going to pull up my bank account, pull up my PayPal account, all that sort of thing. And I'm going to just basically sift through and put every single amount of money that I made and that I spent for that month. So let's say I go and I look to see how much money I made from Twitch. Twitch paid out this much money in January. That actually technically would be for December, the month before, but I made it in January, so I'm going to include it in January, of course. So let's put it there, and let's say YouTube pays out $203.76 from AdSense or whatever, so I'm going to put that in there, and then of course all the way down. Now on the expenses, I've got it set up to where, and I forgot to mention this over here on the summary, but I've got a little asterisk next to anything that's a reoccurring expense. So for instance, Adobe is something that I pay for monthly. And so I'm going to go ahead and, just basically have that up there all the time. Now, there'll be some expenses that you only have, maybe once every few months, or maybe it's something specific that you bought. Like, let's say it's equipment. Well, what I've done is, instead of creating categories for my expenses for each individual thing, so like a very specific game, or let's say I put in webcam because I bought a webcam for my stream or something like that, I'm just going to put it under the equipment category. All right. So under summary, I put equipment, I put games, which will be a running total of all the money I've spent on games throughout the year. And you want to go through and fill out your expenses kind of like you did with the income for all of the expenses that you're going to have on average. So if, let's say, you pay for a website, or let's say you pay for Twitch subs or things like that, you're going to want to put all these under expenses. And so in January, when you do all of your income, you go through and you also find out, what did I spend money on for that month? You put that all under expenses. Now, I've set up formulas to take all of that information and give me the running totals down here at the bottom underneath these income and expenses boxes, right? So now I can see my total gross income for this entire month. I can see what 10% of that is at a quick glance. I tithe 10% of anything I make, so that's why that's there. But you can also use this for charity, if you want to give 10% of your income to charity, or you want to adjust the amount of like you want to change it to 5% to charity or something like that. You can adjust this box over here on the summary tab as well. So I can see 10% really quick, so I can get a quick amount for my tithe. And then, of course, I can see my total expenses. I can see my net income after expenses, and I can see how much 30% of my income is going to taxes. And now I can see what I have left over, which is my net income after or less taxes. This is the information you need. As a content creator, as a streamer, this is the big stuff, okay? Now, what I've also done, just to get fancy with it and also give myself a quicker look at how I'm doing each month, I've also created these pie charts, which is an income breakdown. It basically is a quick way for me to see where the majority of my money is coming from every month within that month. I've also got those same pie charts over here under the summary, so I can see for the entire year where the majority of my money or my expenses is from. And then also, I've got kind of these quick glance boxes over here to the right hand side, which will show me the most pertinent information, like how much money did I make this month total, how much is my profit, so that's after all the expenses and taxes, as well as how much did I spend total, and how much are my taxes going to be this month, right? Now, this is what you're going to do for every month, February all the way through, January all the way through December. I've only done it for January and February for this video. But now that I've got all these amounts input here, you can set up forms just like this. You can get all the formulas. You can make all these connections. You can set up these forms. This is all something you can do for free. It just takes time. And like I said, my wife is a professional accountant. She helped me with a lot of this to make it look as good as it does and to operate as good as it does. And when I come back over here to summary, it's going to bring these tabs. All the information within these tabs is all linked back to this summary page. And so now at the end of the year, not only can I see each individual month's income and expenses, but I can also see how I'm doing for the entire year. And you'll notice down here, I've got a gross monthly income snapshot. This is going to show me the amount of money gross that I made every single month. So the total amount of money I made before expenses and taxes and all that sort of thing for every month. This is a quick way to see what months are your best months. As a content creator, you are going to have some months that you do very well and some months that you don't do so well. And so you also want to keep track of when those months are so that you can plan accordingly. And this will show you that. Also, I've included a couple of other tabs over here, which are your average monthly gross income, your average monthly expenses, and your average net income. This is going to divide all of the amount of money that comes in throughout the year by 12. So at the end of the year, you will actually see the average amount of money you made per month, as well as the average amount of money you spent per month. And then of course, what it is after expenses. This is going to give you a better idea of how well you're doing every month on average across the board, right? So like if I've got a low month and a high month, it's going to average these two things out. Now it's dividing it by 12, so I would need to do this at the end of the year. But the reality is that then I can see at the end of the year how I'm actually doing month to month and what I can plan on, income-wise month to month, even though it's so sporadic. This is something for content creators that unless you have something like this set up is a lot harder to kind of figure out, right? Now, this is also going to give you the total gross income for the year as well as the total profit. And it's going to be every time you update a month, this is all going to update. And so like if I go into March and I add, let's say $3,000, right? $3,000 gets added in March. Well, now I go to my summary and I've got $10,000 total gross income because I've got another amount of, income that's been added under another one of the months. So this is all automatic. The only thing you have to worry about once you get all this set up is just inputting your information month to month. It makes things so much easier. And so this is a system that that's kind of developed over years now because like I said, it's had different iterations, but honestly, when I first started out, it was literally just this income box, this expense box, and then these, formulas down here to give me the totals to make it easy for me to keep track of. But at the end of the year, you've got to go through each individual month and calculate all of that, income and expense and stuff like that. That's why this summary page is so important, of course. So now that you guys have seen how this works, hopefully it's giving you some like inspiration. You can do this on your own in Google Sheets. You can do it in Excel if you prefer Excel. Or if you're like, yo, this is awesome, but I don't know how to use any of this stuff and I don't want to take the time to go find all the formulas and make all the connections and try to make it look like this. If you want this exact system, I actually do sell this. And you might be saying, oh man, he's going to sell it. Okay, what is that it's going to cost me money? Well, let me just show you guys It's not really that much money. It's 10 bucks. But if you come over to our Discord server, I've got a link down in the description of this video, not only to our server at discord.gg/flock, but also I'll have a direct link to what I'm going to show you. It's under server shop over here. And we've added this as a product within our Discord server. So we've got server subscriptions, and then you've got products. You come over to products, and here it is. We've added this as a product that we sell, and it's $10 one time. And you can make it, once you download this into your Google Sheets or your Google account, you can make as many copies of this in your Google account that you want, so that you can have this for as many years down the road as you would like to use it. I actually recommend once you download this, just, and I'll show you how to do this really fast, but if you do end up getting this, or you make your own, once you make your own version or you buy this version, you can go to File and hit Make Copy up here. And I would just make 10 copies of it and then go through and change the name to be, 2024 Creator Financial Report, 2025, 2026. Give yourself a good decade worth of financial reports and keep your template as your template, right? Keep the original as the template and make a bunch of copies of it, and then just go into your Google Drive and rename them. But if you end up getting it from the Discord, you can download this directly into your Google account. You'll have everything that I just showed you. It's all connected. It's all automated. It's all set up for you. And it's a one-time purchase. So in our Discord, you can purchase this from here. Like I said, $9.99. It's got all the details about it here, as well as if you do end up buying this from our Discord, we have an exclusive Make and Bacon roll, which is only available for people who purchase this Google Sheet here. So that's available. I also will share with you guys, if you want to support what I'm doing and support our community further, we also have server subscriptions. And the reason why this is important is not only can you support us month to month, but also I include this sheet as a perk of our partners. So for $9.99 a month, even if you just subscribe for 1 month, you will get access to this product right here as part of that, as a perk. And we actually, any product we come out with within our Discord server, most of them anyway, are going to be automatically free for our partners. And so if you're subscribed as a Flock partner within our Discord server, then you can come down here to the partner perks category, click on that, and it will show up here. And then you can of course click on it and get all the details and download it directly. So there's that as well. The only problem with doing it this way is that if you subscribe as a partner, you'll get the partner roll, but you won't get the Make and Bacon roll. So you have to pick which roll you want if you want one of those rolls. But anyway, the point is, it is available. I'll have a link to this directly so that when you click on the link, it'll take you to this page and you can actually look at this, right away. You don't even have to go from our server guide or wherever to the server shop. It'll just be right here. Now, if you do choose to purchase this system from our Discord and get yourself set up today, then you can click on this, and once you purchase it, it's going to unlock these contents down here. And basically, not only will you get that Make and Bacon roll, which can only be acquired through this, like I said, but you'll also get this downloadable PDF. Now, what this does is once you download this, it's going to basically give you this sheet right here. This is going to give you, basically this sheet is for this right here. Click here to download. This is a link to the Google Sheet that we're talking about. And if you click on this click here to download button, it's going to bring you up to this page right here, which says copy document. Now this is on Google Sheets. And if you hit make a copy, that is going to add the Creator Financial Report template to your Google Drive. So once you hit make copy, it is now added to your Google Drive, and you can make as many copies as you want. Pretty easy, pretty simple, not a lot, but just wanted to give you guys a heads up. The whole point in all of this, guys, is to give you an idea of how you can manage your money easily within something free like Google Sheets. And like I said, if you don't want to buy the version that I've set up, if you want to make your own version, you can do so. This is all free within Google Sheets, and all the formulas are out there. All of the information is out there. It just takes a little time to set up. Either way, I hope this helps you guys out and gives you a little bit of insight into money management stuff for creators. Now, I want to leave you with some final thoughts in this video. The first one being that this is a great way to figure out whether you are ready to go full-time as a content creator or a live streamer. This whole entire money management budgeting system will give you a look at how you're doing financially within your content. And if you are looking at doing this seriously and trying to go full-time, and you're kind of debating, you're like, yo, when's the right time to quit my job? You know, is this sustainable? Like, this is a great way to keep track of all of that and make a wise decision. You don't ever want to quit your, you know, full-time job to pursue full-time content creation if you aren't in a financial place to do so. If you are supposed to do full-time content creation, you will be in a financial place where you can leave your job and not be hurting financially. Never become a full-time content creator and go into massive amounts of debt. It may work for a very few people out there that you've heard of, but the reality is that the majority of us can't do that. It's just way too risky. And the reality is also that you may get yourself into massive amounts of debt and then have to go back and get another job. And then now you've got all this debt and still no full-time content creation career. If you're thinking about full-time content creation, use a system like this to track everything and look at how you're doing over a 3-month, 6-month, and 9-month period of time. Look at how you're doing for an entire year and see whether those averages are sustainable. See whether the amount of money you're making is sustainable. This will give you a much clearer picture of that, so that when you are at that point where the finances start to make sense and you could leave a full-time job and at least have enough money to get by and do content creation full-time, then you can make a wise, informed decision. But a lot of people will just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go full-time content creation and see what happens, and they'll quit their job when they've got a good job that's paying the bills, and then they'll go after it, and you know, 3, 4, 5 months down the road realize they made a massive mistake. Or maybe things were starting to roll, it just wasn't enough to sustain where they were at. Instead, start making content, do it part-time, and then use this system to figure out when the right time financially is for you to be a full-time creator. All right. So even though money management can be a daunting thing and you feel like, I didn't really sign up to become an accountant when I wanted to become a content creator, if you're doing it solo and you're not really at the place to hire an accountant specifically, this will make things so much easier for you and hopefully help you stay on top of your finances. And if you'll do this month to month, so at the end of a month, at the beginning of the next month, you'll put in all your information for that previous month. Then you do that 12 times throughout the year. And at the end of the year, you're going to have a clean, organized, and very, very, very robust data set to give you a better picture of how you're doing as a content creator or a streamer. So if you like this video, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button for me and the subscribe button if you want to support this channel more. It helps out a ton, and we would love to have you as a member of our community. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett. Swing on by, ask questions. I love talking about this stuff. We also play games over there all the time, so come and hang out and just have a good time. Join our Discord, discord.gg/flock. Links for all that stuff in the description, as well as links for all my social media if you want to come follow my journey on all of those accounts. It's all in the description. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, as always, rock on, peace out, God bless, and last but not least, cacao! They're still coming in.
Calling in reinforcements.
Oh! I just survived 2 nukes because of this suit. No way. No way. It's because of my suit. It's because of my suit, Immord. That was the most insane survive I've ever had. That's insane. That was insane. This suit is awesome.